The Jeep engine suddenly stopped, making a new noise on the road. I had only come about halfway from Medija. It wasn't raining at the moment, but there was a thick cloud cover that looked like it might rain at any moment. I got out and lifted the bonnet. I checked the battery, the wiring plugs, everything. I tried to start it 2 or 3 times. The engine wouldn't start. I thought about all the old problems and checked. Nothing made sense. I cleaned all the carburetor jets. I opened the distributor and looked at it. Nothing helped. I was scared because it was dark. In the meantime, I took off the petrol tank cap to take a look. What did I see? The bottom of the tank, which had no petrol in it, was visible. The reason why the Jeep had stopped became clear. I started waiting, thinking that someone might come. After a while, I heard the sound of a Java motorbike approaching. 2 people wearing raincoats were coming. I gestured for them to stop a little further away. They stopped. "Ensor, here," the person behind asked. "It doesn't have to be a problem," I said. "A little petrol. The petrol we have is enough for this one, sir. It's very difficult to get petrol out of this motorbike's tank." "Is there a pipe?" I asked. What he said was right. No matter how much petrol he gave me, it wouldn't be enough to take me even a short distance. Meanwhile, he made up his mind and said, "I'll do something. You stay here, go to Medija and get petrol and give it to me." I didn't have any money. I told them that I would give the money to the bank tomorrow, and they said they would. As soon as I said my name, both of them raised the subject of the film as if they had been recognized, saying, "Oh, you star. Your film. It's good, sir." Then there was no need to bother them for petrol. They started their motorbike and ran away, saying, "Come and leave now." I just waited. A few vehicles stopped on the way and asked what was going on. After knowing the matter, they continued on. Meanwhile, a couple of bees buzzed around the Jeep without my noticing. Since there was nothing to hide from except the top of my Jeep, I kept quiet, assuming that they must have come for the smell of honey. Then they flew away. Then 2 or 3 more bees came and started circling. Since there was a huge dense forest around, I assumed that a beehive had been built in some tree. In a short time, 7 or 8 more bees arrived. I got a little worried seeing these beehives the size of a hoe. I started waiting on the road, thinking that if these boys had come a little sooner, they could have filled up the space with petrol. Slowly the number of buzzing bees started increasing. I guessed that the bees that had gone earlier had gone and given everything to the beehive. The number of bees kept doubling. Some bees hit the Jeep window and flew away furiously, trying to break through the transparent barrier. I thought, "Is this a new danger?" and got down from the Jeep and stood a little distance away. By the time the 2 who had gone to fetch petrol returned, I was standing helplessly near a distant tree. Hundreds of bees had swarmed around my Jeep, making a loud noise and besieging it. Both of them were surprised to see me standing near the tree and said, "This is the star here." I explained my situation. One of them said, "Come on, sir, what's wrong? If you are afraid of all this, then you are done," he said, bravely taking the petrol can and leaving. We followed. When he got close to the Jeep, he thought the bees were just flies and waved his hand to chase them away, killing one. Before the 2 of us behind knew what had happened, 2 or 3 bees buzzed him in the face. "Oh my God," he said, and putting down the petrol can, he ran ahead of us in the direction we had come from. We followed him faithfully at the same speed. Another one said, "You shouldn't have waved your hand like that." To this he said, "Go away, or you'll come and hit me in the eye." The 3 of us stood at the base of the tree and thought about what to do. We couldn't see anything. The bees were buzzing and flying around a little too much. Another one said, "Will you put on a raincoat and put it on?" The one who had been bitten said, "You put it on. I'm feeling unbearably hot." The first one said, "Oh my. I'm a fool. I'm afraid of bees." "There's a funk in our department tomorrow, there's a photo." He blew his nose and said, "If you stand like a monkey, tell me you're fine." We both sympathized with him, thinking that his reluctance was justified. After a while I said, "They may leave after dark. Then I will fill up with petrol. You go. It seems like it is going to rain." At first they did not agree, but then they left because there was no other way. Soon after they left, it started to rain. I hid under a tree, shivering in the cold, cursing the honey and the bees, and eagerly anticipating the darkness. It was very dark when I reached home. My little daughter came running, shouting, "Oh, brother, come." I had told her to bring honey while I was going. My wife was shocked to see that the man who had gone to bring 7 bottles of honey was carrying a huge tin of kerosene oil that was too heavy for her to carry. When I told her that she got so much honey for 78 rupees, she would not have believed it. I thought it was right to keep such a precious thing as honey in that tin of kerosene oil. I didn't think so. I was also curious to see what kind of mahadashwarya I had brought home. "Lo pyar," I shouted. A young boy from Sabah was a kitchen helper in our house. He was said to have been kept in a remand home for 6 months for spending time at the bus stand doing pickpocketing. When he returned, his father Jamal said, "You are my mother's son," and kicked him out of the house. He had been roaming around the village and had come to our garden to collect cardamom, but after the cardamom was harvested, he did not want to eat it again and stayed home. Hearing my shout, he shouted, "Ow," and came running. "Why did you take this?" he said. "Why did you take all that?" He sim. By the time I came back after changing my wet clothes, he had taken a pot and put 4 sticks on it and heated it. "Let's see what you say," I said. He bent down and looked at it without understanding anything and said, "Something." He realized that since he had put 66 sticks and heated it, he could not smell it properly and shouted, "Look properly and tell me." He closed one eye again and peered through the straw and said, "Something, something, there is cobra oil." I got angry and said, "What do you want? You are a scoundrel. You know the difference between honey and cobra oil." I asked my wife to bring a container from inside. "I don't know anything, Sammy, I found cobra oil there," said my friend. My wife brought the container. With difficulty, I lifted the heavy tin and bent it over the honey ghee container. Since the container was on its side, I couldn't tell what had fallen into the container. Only my daughter shouted, "Brother, nothing is falling." Ella, I thought something had been done. But I couldn't figure out why nothing had fallen. I brought a torch and put it inside the container to check. My friend had reason to suspect that it was coconut oil. Something inside looked white like solid coconut oil. While I was thinking anxiously, my friend said, "Look, my mouth is open." I put a stick inside the container, turned it, and lifted it. A slightly wet, hard sugar-like substance came out, kneaded on a stick. It tasted like honey. I suspected that sugar had been mixed in and filled it. I gave some to everyone standing around. Everyone agreed that it tasted like honey. However, I was a little disappointed, as I was expecting a golden, viscous liquid. Mandana gave me this as the best honey in the world. I thought I would try it properly when I went to the grocery store tomorrow. Knowing that this was also like coconut oil, Pyar said, "It hardens in the cold."